Greetings, my human friends. This is Rudolf of Germany, the tall white alien. Lately I have gotten several emails and also questions in the comment sections of my last videos concerning the debate of Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton and the impressions my viewers have about it. In many cases, people were not very happy with the outcome. They had the impression and have the opinion that Donald Trump didn't do as well as they have expected, particularly if I, Rudolf of Germany, telepathically influence his mind to the better. To this, I would like to give you some information right now. You have to keep in mind that Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are two completely different characters. Donald Trump is a highly emotionally charged human being who has pretty much all his life decided fundamentally from his gut feeling. And afterwards, he's expert in the fields of real estate, engineering and so on, have worked out up on this gut feeling and made very professional decisions which led to much success. And it is very important to keep this point in mind. Donald Trump is highly emotional, and these emotions are also known as emotional intelligence, a trait which is completely lacking and missing in Hillary Clinton, a person trained as a lawyer, a person who is completely mental and logic and ice cold in their strategies and decision makings. There is not much space for gut feeling, there is not much space for sympathy, empathy, and so on. This is the major difference between those two candidates. And if you have the impression that Mrs. Hillary Clinton had a better arguments or were even better prepared for this debate because she knew more of the political backgrounds and statistics, etc., you are completely right. But just by being so many years in politics and having prepared oneself by knowing statistics and also having good arguments because she's trained in it, it does not mean that Donald Trump, with his emotional intelligence, and this is not supposed to be forgotten, sincerity, did not make any positive impression. People trust somebody more who is sincere and speaks his mind and heart than somebody who is well prepared to lie their way into the Oval Office. Don't forget this. You do not have to know every single statistic, for example, in the world, to be a better president. This I would like to remind you of. Now to Hillary Clinton. Donald Trump has high blood pressure at times, and he needs also his cholesterol put down. This is what he has to deal with in a minor way. This is not so dramatic. Otherwise, he is a relatively healthy man for his age. And now we like to go and speak about Mrs. Hillary Clinton's health, which is much more dramatically impaired. I would like to give you some insight on that too. We, the tall whites, are, of course, informed about pretty much everything what's going on behind the curtain. Mrs. Hillary Clinton is the front person of a very dark force which works absolutely behind the curtains, and she is being financed, as you all know, by industry, by interest groups which want to keep the system up as it is and infringe more and more on the rights of the humans living in the United States and other parts of the world for their own profits. But this is only the part of the deal the dark forces did with industry. The industrial leaders have to obey to the interests of the dark forces, which I do not want to name at this moment. And for that they have a free reign, a free running on all their profits and power games they want to play, as long as they keep the rules from the ones who are really in charge. So these industrial leaders, of course, pump all the money into Hillary Clinton because she represents them and will do whatever these industrial interest groups want and need. Excuse me. So now we come to the background of Hillary Clinton's health. The woman has a problem, a brain problem. She has a brain defect which is being, without the help of certain medications, not controllable. This is a brain problem which can be controlled only if electromagnetic impulses are being given through the spinal cord, which keeps a control of her spasms, of her fits and fallouts. This is the reason Mrs. Clinton carried a small device on her back, close to her spinal cord, and there was a kind of antenna which was attached to her. From there she was getting the necessary electromagnetic impulses through this device into her spinal cord, which then again in turn influenced the part of the brain of hers which creates these massive fallouts and problems. As long as she is carrying this device on her spinal cord, which gives electromagnetic impulses which lead up the spinal cord into certain brain sections, she can function quite well. And especially not only when it comes to her fits which she has, when it comes to her irregular movements, but also there is the possibility to stimulate the emotions, to stimulate, like a particular drug, her moods. There is obviously no way that this woman would be able to stand up for 1.5 hours in front of you without having these electromagnetic impulses regulating her brain waves. With this device, she is able to function relatively well, and the problem with it is that she cannot carry this device all the time, and once the device is removed, she falls into a rather detrimental state of health, of mental health, which is caused by a prior accident, of course, as you all know. This is one thing, and also that she had such a good answer ready for every single question she was asked has also two reasons. First of all, the one who asked her the questions, who were running the debate, I forgot his name right now, he was of course asking only the questions she was well prepared for, which was not the case for Donald Trump, because the whole show was of course in favor of the Clinton clan. And secondly, even then, she knew already what the question's going to be, and she would be a bit prepared. It would not have run as well as it did if she wouldn't have had some small earpiece where the people would assist her with every single question and gave her points which she could use in her answers. This was the situation with this debate. It was, in a way, just a show for the public which has no real substance to it. The woman is ill. She cannot stand up without a device in her back which keeps her electromagnetic spine flow controlled. She would not have been able to answer the question as well as she did if the questions would not have been known before and favorable to her. And third of all, she also had an earpiece which helped her by answering her questions. All of this was not in place, all of this was not there for Donald Trump, of course. He don't need this device on his spine, of course, but he did not really was so prepared for the questions, and he did not have outside help to answer them. And this is the reason, even with my help, the debate went a little bit as you have been observing it. Which does not mean it has been bad for Donald Trump, quite the opposite, because people with reason and heart, people who have some kind of emotional understanding and intelligence, still find Donald Trump the more humane, reasonable person, and I believe the debate, because of that, because of the intuition people get, the debate went well, and we will see what's going to happen next. Just watch and see what Mrs. Hillary Clinton, if there will be photographs or videos available, has on her lower back, because this is the device, something very similar to a pacemaker people get for their heart. She got something similar for her spine, which feeds, of course, the brain function. This you have to keep in mind. In reality, the woman is a zombie. There is not much life left in her. Sorrily to say, I don't wish anybody bad, but to get a president who is fed through a device on his back or her back in order to stay alive and have earpieces where some dark forces give information to her what to do and what to say, I don't think this will be the right choice for America and the American people. This is Rudolf of Germany. Have a pleasant day.